What's going on, Internet? True 101 Store here. It's Thursday. You've entered into the plight with me. Hope everyone's doing good. Yeah, so I had an interesting little battle on my going on my Facebook page last night about the whole vegetarian vegan thing. And this girl who normally doesn't really comment on my stuff actually brought up an interesting point. She said that she was a vegan, or not a vegan, a vegetarian for 14 years now. I don't really know what that means, because the vegetarian is kind of a loose term nowadays. Like, people eat different stuff under the term vegetarian. And she also said that she works in the health industry with like supplements and all that stuff for over 10 years. So I would kind of think that she might know a little bit more than me, I would assume. And she was saying that after 14 years of being a vegetarian, that she had to go back to eating meat because soy had ruined her body, so to speak. She had to get ovarian cancer because of her ovarian operation because of it, and all sorts of other things. And it brought up like one of my original questions with the whole vegetarian thing. Now, I do feel better. I mean, I have not had any meat at all for like 6 months. I mean, in the beginning phases, I had like some periodic fish, and like I've had, in the 6 months, I've had like shrimp and like a piece of salmon, like a handful of times, not much, but just to keep some kind of something going on. But as far as like beef, pork, chicken, any type of any other meat, I've had none. And to be honest with you, I've felt only positive results from it. At the same time, though, I've noticed that because I started eating so much tofu, that I did actually get moves. Like, my tits actually did grow, and I'm a man. I'm not supposed to grow tits. And I never had like that type of a build. So that's like kind of why I had to try to stop eating tofu as well, which makes it a little difficult. You gotta like try to find other stuff to eat. And this girl's basically saying that the human body and this, like at a cellular level, has grown used to having meat in the system because, I mean, she, in the sense she's right. People were hunters. Like, over the course of evolution, we had to eat meat. We had to survive. It was like a matter of survival. And I would be inclined to believe, I've not done all the scientific research on this, so I'm speaking like speculatively, of course. But you'd think that your body at a cellular level would grow used to that and kind of adapt itself, and use the nutrients and get used to nutrients from that path or whatever. I don't know really how it works at the cellular level. So she brought up a very interesting point, and I wonder, how to really like approach the problem, because if you have like let's just paint it for instance. If you have like a farm, right, and you have chickens, ducks, cows, sheep, and you have like your own little farm, because honestly, I've always wanted to have a lot of animals around me. Always wanted to live on a farm, or like have like some type of an enclosure, or like a place where I could care for a lot of animals, because I get a lot of amusement and joy out of interacting with all of them. I've never had an encounter with an animal that I didn't like enjoy. Well, there was a few, but I don't really want to get into them right now. But for the most part, that's been the way it is. And so, for instance, you had a farm, and it was like its own little ecosystem, and you feed the cows with their feed and the grass and everything. And then when one of those animals dies, because chances are you would have animals from every different age range. One of them dies from natural causes. You do the reverent thing and use that animal's body for in every way that you could, kind of like the Native Americans used to do. So if you're eating meat sparingly in that manner, what would like the vegan argument for that be? Is is that like healthy or is it not healthy? You know, we're not talking about like, you know, factory farmed, genetically engineered or you know, boosted with all kinds of hormones. I'm talking about like in a perfect setting, a scenario where you have a farm, you know, your chickens lay your eggs for you. You're not like, you know, cooping them up and mass producing anything. Would that be better theoretically than just an all vegan, all vegetarian, or all vegan, you know, diet? That's really what I'm asking. Because I've had a lot of discussions with people who I feel are extremely intelligent, who are not vegans and not vegetarians, and, you know, understand what I'm saying, but they just don't feel that that's the right way to go about getting nutrition for their body. So, you know, I'm not gonna assault people. You know, I can only tell people how I feel. Occasionally I get a little upset, you know, and that's it. So that's really what I'm asking. Like, what is the perfect scenario? And like, you know, do you guys have any info, any evidence, or anything to share with me that might help me understand this particular, you know, situation, or, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. So that's it. I don't really have time to do another video, but everybody have an awesome day. It's Thursday. I can't really think of anything else to say, so I think I'm done. Peace. Oh, subscribe. Subscribe.